Back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is that time again, y'all. Appreciate y'all guys being here. It's the community stock picks room with the day trading Degens. I am your host, Charles Becko. And we are joined by the original Degens queens, Sabrina and Charlene. Welcome, everybody. So, I'm your host, Charles Becko, technical analyst, yada, yada, yada. I'm not that important, especially not today. Today, we've got Sabrina and Charlene. Sabrina, introduce yourself to the crowd, followed up by Charlene.
Hi, Charles. Hi, Charlene. How are you guys doing? Hello, everyone in the room. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Oh, no.
So, I'm an active equities trader, crypto trader, and I also buy and sell real estate in my free time, more like an investor, though. I'm here to support the community. I have a lot of positions in my, everyone always laughs at me, so I'm going to tell you guys, I have 350 positions in 3 portfolios that I manage for myself. That does not include anything I do for the bank. Here to support the community, equities trader, but here in the room tonight. Over to you, Charlene.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. I am Charlene. I am true believer, wife, mother, restaurateur, and newbie trader because I'm always learning something new, even though Sabrina says I'm not a newbie. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you haven't already, please click on the greenhouse and go ahead and become a member. Go ahead and don't forget to click on the bell so you're aware whenever we open the room. Follow your mods. All right, we'll be posting a link to the YouTube channel so you can save that, like it, subscribe, and follow. Over to you, Charles.
All right. I think I got the link up. I just want to make sure here. Sometimes my, living here in New York, the internet gets kind of crappy because there's just a crap ton of people, and sometimes it kind of taps out here. Can't help it, just the building. But I got all of that. We did put up the YouTube link in the chats. Let me just get it to everybody. And so today's room is going to be very different, right? We're going to try to do more rooms like this. It's a commitment that we've made to kind of keep the day trading the Degen spirit alive. And today we're going to invite everybody up to the stage to talk about their stock picks going into the end of the year and setting up for next year, right? So we want you to raise your hands, come up here, and let us know your stock picks, from time to time. Okay, there we go. Thanks for pinning that, Sabrina. Again, this is the Day Trading Degens. You see the link, you see the description, you see that picture. This is our room. This is the community room, right? Doesn't belong to any one person. And so want to definitely invite you folks up to the stage and, come up here and tell us your due diligence. Tell us your best pick for the end of the year, your best pick going into 2022. Hopefully 2022 will be better than 2021, and anything is better than 2020. We can all agree with that, right? All right. Again, just kind of dropping.
Actually, no, I disagree with that.
Go ahead, Sabrina. Oh, because of the stock market.
2020 was an amazing year to be in the market and trading.
I hear you. I know. This 2020 was different things to different people, right? So you're right. If you're like all about the stock market, you just joined and you tripled your bank account, or you quadrupled or 10x to 20x your crypto dollars, then 2020 was amazing. But on the other hand, if you're in soul crushing depression because of the pandemic and everything, then year 2020 might have been a little bit different than everybody else. But we definitely want to represent all sides. And yeah, no, Sabrina, you're absolutely correct when you say that. I see DFG Quan. I think you're stuck in the matrix. I don't know if I could get you up here.
Yeah, I tried to let him up too. So guys, this is a popcorn style room. This isn't the lightning round. So if you guys have, you know, something you want to talk about, your favorite ticker for the week, your favorite ticker for the rest of the year, or maybe one or two, raise your hands, come on stage with us. I mean, we'll kick it off. We'll also provide our feedback as to, you know, whatever your stocks are. This actually happens to be my favorite type of room because I have so many positions. I can talk about so many different things. Come on up on stage, guys.
Okay, there we go. We got some folks here. Okay. All right. Again, team, come up on stage. Let us know your ticker. And we will be creating a list and checking it twice, right? So right after we're done, we are going to be publishing that list to the community, okay? We'll put it on Telegram. We'll put it on Discord. And I will personally, and I believe Simarina will personally, put it on our IGs, right? So follow us on Instagram if you want to get that watch list, all right? And definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel because, of course, everything's going to be on YouTube, right? That's being recorded. And Sabrina, man, the YouTube is looking crazy right now, Sabrina. We got to get the folks up on there.
That's great. I see my man Simba came on stage. I haven't seen or talked to him in ages.
Hey guys, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see y'all. Y'all are still kicking butt out here. Great content as always. But yeah, the ticker that I've been actually looking at today is actually a SPAC, and I know there's been SPACs have had their ups and downs, but there's still so much opportunity pre-merger with some of these names, and the one that I was looking at is a SPAC called Bright Lights Acquisition Corp. They just signed a definitive.
What's the ticker, Simba?
The ticker is, let me pull it up real quick, BLTS. Bright Lights Acquisition. So they just signed a definitive with Manscaped. Manscaped is a company that makes men's below-the-belt care products. So shaving products and so on and so forth. Good business, very strong business, primarily amongst like millennials. Great revenue stream. I'm driving now, but I looked at their financials earlier, and they've got a pretty good-looking financial structure. Almost zero debt. By the time the DA is completed, they'll be down to zero debt, and I think they've got some pretty good cash on hand, and they've been growing at a rapid pace. But besides the actual core business itself, from a SPAC perspective, if you're considering kind of getting in and out of SPACs pre-announcement or around the announcement, they're still under $10 at this point. I think in the pre-market they went up a little bit. So I'm playing this as a short term because I'm not super interested in holding the actual business long term unless I find something that I really like. But it's a great opportunity to make some short-term gains.
All right, BLTS. So I think we were able to pull up the ticker here. Bright Lights Acquisition Corp. And you're saying they have a deal with Manscaped. Is that correct?
Yeah, they have a definitive agreement.
Yeah, it's a SPAC, Charles, so the charts may not read the true potential.
Yep.
The merger's coming up. Yeah, with the SPACs are very, very different, guys. They're for those of you that don't know, SPACs are special purpose vehicles where companies can do a merger and go public and create a ticker on the NASDAQ via these alternate route SPACs versus the traditional IPO route.
So this will, and so what I'm understanding, right? And so I'm a SPAC junior. I don't know as much about SPACs as I'm supposed to, and I'm actually learning here on stage live with you guys. So this will be you could say the stock, quote unquote, for Manscaped. Is that correct?
Well, it will be a merger that will happen, right?
Yeah.
And the ticker. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Simmer, because you know more about this particular SPAC yourself.
Yeah. So basically, and I'll kind of outline even from go a step back and say basically what a SPAC does is it takes a private company that wants to go public, and instead of going through the traditional IPO process, so like RIVN went through the traditional IPO process, which goes through underwriting, they do a road show, and they do all these things. With a SPAC, it works a little bit differently. This company
Similar to
basically
CCIV and Lucid.
exactly CCIV did it this way, where CCIV was a blank check company. It's basically a holding company with a bunch of money in the bank that doesn't have an actual business, and then they go and they acquire Lucid Motors in the case of CCIV, and then they merge, and then the ticker symbol changes once the merger is complete. It changes in Lucid's case to LCID. So with Manscaped right now, we have two companies. We have the SPAC right now, BLTS, and then we have Manscaped. They've written a definitive agreement, so it's basically we're agreeing to combine these two companies. Bright Lights is already on the stock market, and they're going to acquire Manscaped. And then once the acquisition is complete, they change the ticker to whatever they decided it to be. Let's say MANS, whatever they decided it is, and then at that point it becomes a traditional stock on the market. Now the benefit with getting into a SPAC early is the core SPAC product. With this one started at $9 per share. Now, once the acquisition is completely done, the valuation will typically, now this is not always, typically the floor is $9 unless the company absolutely implodes. So generally what happens if you want to play a SPAC short term is when the definitive agreement, if you find out about the definitive agreement early enough and you get in close to that floor price, once the news is out and investors start to kind of come in and want to buy the actual company Manscaped, that's when you'll usually see a bump up in the price, and you can play it how you will at that point. And then if you want to hold the company long term because you like the company and you want to hold them for however many years, you can keep it and hold it. But in the case of Lucid Motors, we saw a huge spike at the beginning. A lot of people that got into the CCIV name early on sold out at $60, and some of them had bought in at $10, $12, $15 and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, the key for
disclosure.
Sorry, go ahead, Sally.
Yeah, so full disclosure, I am in quite a few SPACs just because of that reason. And to me, I see it as like a savings account, right? So because they trade sideways, they don't have too much action, being that they're a SPAC until news starts to come leaking out. I use it as a savings account. So I'm already, I'll use that. So when news does come out and it pops, I'm already in and don't have to chase the bag.
Right. And the key to that is, in the worst case scenario, if this deal implodes, the warrants or these shares essentially of the SPAC will get liquidated at $9. So if I got in at $9.10, for example, my biggest loss is going to be, that 10 cents, or call it 9 point whatever percent. So that's kind of the safety in it as Sabrina's playing it.
Man, sorry, I'm fumbling around with the mic here. Wow. Again, Simba, thank you so much for the education again. Typically when things are like new and they're new, I typically don't just jump right in. I kind of sit back because for me, I'm always concerned about the collapse.
Yeah, we know you got to see it in the chart before you have any kind of faith.
I got to see it.
We already know how Brooklyn traders get down.
I got to see it, man. Cause even again, I'm just talking about it just from a day trading perspective. Because for instance, we had today in the chat we had a setup to short what was this? What was that? AMD. Okay, and I'm not recommending anyone do this because that could go really badly for you, right? But we see this a chart pattern to short the daily on AMD, and instead of just fooling around with the daily pattern, I said, you know what, let's get a little bit granular and let's be patient and careful and try to see if we could get a short on the shorter time frames, right? Because it's a lot easier to do it that way. And man, we just totally nailed this short intraday, even if it's just a swing, right? And so the way that we approach things here is, at least for Brooklyn Traders, is very, very conservative. And so, I'll be the first to admit, team, Charles Becco does not know everything there is to know about SPACs because that whole idea was so new. I really wanted to take my time, do a lot of research, and I found that
better do it quick before you miss out on these plays. 2020 was the year of SPAC. They used to call me SPAC Queen in this day trading Degens room.
Hey, Sabrina, you could have it all. Because let me tell y'all folks too, and that's the beauty of having a community, right? Like, there can't be too much homogeny, right? There needs to be diversity here. And so, as I officially don't really dabble with that. Hey, we got members of the community that are elbow deep into just lots of different types of trades, and I love it. And so, Simba, I said all that to say, brother, thank you for actually educating myself on the whole process. What I did was I did some research on the back end, and I found that, within the first couple of months after, you could say the IPO or the inciting event happens, like 80-something% of SPACs kind of go down, and so off of that initial research, I believe that was done. It was what, Yale and New York University combined.
The same thing happens with IPOs. They run up on day one and day two. 30 days later, they're below the IPO price. So it can go either way.
Right. And again, and so off of that initial research, I just said, hey, you know what? Let me just sit back and just watch and wait and see. And honestly, I've been very happy with just kind of say where I'm at. And Simba, I'm just so glad that you explained it beautifully. That was great. And Simba, I thank you for your contribution. And you got one more follower there, Simba, so I appreciate it. Anything more to contribute to the Manscaped BT? Was it? Give me to take it one more time. BTLS.
BLTS, bright light.
BLTS. Okay. Anything left to contribute here?
Actually, maybe one more thing that I'll say is watching a lot of these high-flying names getting beaten up over the past few weeks for us long-term buy and hold investors has been painful, but you chartists tend to make money whichever way it goes. So I've been a little bit jealous of the technicians amongst us, but this is a good example of why it's important to, in a long-term portfolio, hold some of these quote-unquote blue chips now, whether it's the Microsofts, the Apples, these more boring companies that tend to chug along but are strong, and that's kind of what you want to have as the cornerstones of a long-term portfolio.
Awesome. We appreciate that, Simba. And so, Sabrina or Charlene, either of you ladies want to give us a quick reset before we get to the next pick?
I was going to ask you, since you have the mic, do you want to drop your ticker?
Well, me, Charlie Becco? Oh, no, we put the community first. I'll go dead last. No, we'll go last. I do see that on the YouTube. I guess to the folks on the YouTube, I see some familiar faces. I see Kimberly Miranda. What's up, Kimberly, Shanisha, and Parth and Daniel. They have questions. They want us to break down some tickers. So, team, we're not necessarily breaking down tickers, but it's been such a while that we haven't done a room like this. So I will do a quick peek at some of them, but I do want to be respectful to the people on stage who are kind of going with the flow here. So we're going to get to Moji after the reset, and Ront82, that's RONT82. We can't invite you to the stage for some reason. Leave the room and come back, and we'll get you back up here. Sabrina, you want to give us a quick reset, let folks know what's going on, and then we'll get to Moji.
Welcome, everybody. Good evening, good night, good morning, good day. Welcome to the Day Trading Degens room. This is our traditional style room. Can you hear the excitement in my voice?
Boom!
This is not one of our lightning round rooms. This is a popcorn room where you guys from the audience come up on stage, you share with the community what your picks are, you tell us what your DD is, why do you like this particular company and the particular stock and or SPAC, whatever it is. It could also be a crypto. Please come on up and share with us. This is our opportunity to also learn from the community so you guys can give back also. If you haven't already, please follow the Day Trading Degens room by clicking that greenhouse on the top of the room. Turn the bell on so you will be alerted to the rooms when we open them. As you can see, today is a one-off day where we're doing a popcorn style. Please also follow your mods. Give us a follow. Charles, Charlene, myself, we're in other rooms in Clubhouse that may be beneficial to you. For example, the pre-market movers early in the morning, very early in the morning. I think that's it. Welcome, everybody. Come on up on stage. Over to you, Charles.
Also, I wanted to highlight, we actually crossed a very important milestone, and we didn't say nothing. We didn't do nothing. But team, I want to thank everybody here for bringing the community, the Day Trading Degens Club, to over 130,000 members. Woo! When Brooklyn Traders first came here, I think we were sitting at like 125 or 127. We were definitely under the 130 mark. And right now I see that we're sitting at 131K. So shouts out to the community. Really appreciate it. Love the support. Shouts out to David Alorca, Chike, and Jide, everybody that's, again, original founders of the club. We really appreciate it, all right? And so let's not hold up the line here. So we've got Moji. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Moji, what is your picks for the crowd?
That was right, Moji. My pick is one you've mentioned before, which is Plug. But in terms of my due diligence, there's three things I do when there's a stock I want to buy, and that is essentially numbers, news, and what are my long-term goals, or if it's or basically is it going to be a long-term stock versus a short-term stock. With Plug, of course, the draw is the fact that it is currently not just a hot stock, but it's a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a 21st century, I guess you could say, investment. In terms of numbers, I basically checked out the volatility. This for me is a long-term stock. So it was important for me that the volatility in the last 6 months sort of made sense. So that was a go. I checked out their balance sheet and income statement. And even though it was negative in a ways, it's also due to the fact that they've been acquiring companies. So it's not like bad debt that they have. So that was also impressive to me, was their cash flow and how much they were bringing in. Now, of course, there's also, like I said, the news. So what information regarding them as a company is out there in the media? What conferences are they attending? What's coming up for them? So I also looked at the news that has been coming out for them in the past couple of months as well. So basically, since I knew I wanted this as a long-term stock, looked at the numbers, income, volatility, my comfortable entry price, what my margin of safety is, and how much I wanted to make or want to make out of it. And, basically added all of that up. And that was my due diligence. Hopefully that was helpful for someone. So, it's a slow and steady stock, but I like slow and steady as long as it's going up. And for me, for the past couple of months, that's been Plug. So.
All right, so we got Plug here. Yeah, we like Plug. We like all the EVs, especially with the infrastructure deal being signed. We know Biden is all about the EVs. He visited the GM plant, drove a couple of their vehicles there. And, yeah, I like Plug as well. My favorite, personally, is Blink. Between the two, only because just because of the visibility. There are a lot of Blink charging stations here in New York. I'm pretty sure there's Plug ones, maybe, but I just personally haven't seen them. Under the hood, I would say that I can't really discern the difference. I haven't really compared the books between the different EVs. I've compared the EV books to the marijuana, but not EVs amongst themselves. And so, hey, to me, Plug, Blink, yeah, I put them all in the same basket. I definitely like the contribution there with Plug, and we added it to the list. My man Teef, what's up, man? Today we are talking about stocks that we like, stocks from the community. Is there a particular stock that you just can't get enough of, that you love, that you know a little bit about, that you want to share with the crowd? Oh, I see that he's on the phone. I see, okay. I see that he's on the phone. All right. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go, Teef. Go ahead.
Okay. Charles, I'm really loving Apple right now. I'm still in the trees. I'm swinging till maybe sometime next week, but I think they're getting ready to do something. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's been doing me real nice these last couple of days, and I'm gonna kind of continue to mess with it to see where it goes.
Yeah, Apple's skyrocketing because of the news of the car and their new virtual reality headset they're coming out with. Well, glasses, I should say. AR/VR glasses that's coming out supposedly in Q1 of 2022.
Me personally, I liked Apple because of the chart structure. We had some squeezes fired off on the daily time frame here. We'll be looking to potentially buy the dip. I didn't get the dip that I was looking for. I was looking for more 156. It got as low as low 159 here, then it bounced. Again, looking for more of a substantial dip on Apple to get back in. But hey, it really might not give that to me because the weekly time frame just looks smexy. I love it. I mean, fresh weekly mid compression squeeze. We got a fresh MACD cross. Again, we hit the first price target 160. I'm looking for 170 on Apple. I really like it. I really like Apple here. So, Teef, thank you so much for that contribution. So, again, Ron T, we can't get you up here. And again, if you feel the need to come up here, we invite you to come up here and let us know about your community stock picks for right now until we get some more victims. I mean, guess. We're going to take some from the YouTube here. Okay, so Kimberly Miranda says that she likes CLF. So she's not on the stage, right? So let's take a look at CLF from a charting perspective and see what's going on. Okay, let me make sure we can all see. Okay, we can. Okay, some things here. First of all, I like materials plays, especially coming into inflation. We should see, again, these are raw materials, right? So any kind of effects of inflation are going to be passed directly onto the consumer, all right? So that's what we got here. I'm seeing a squeeze forming on the daily time frame. There's a squeeze on a 2-day, 3-day. There's a squeeze on all these time frames here. And CLF, it's been trading in this range here for quite some time. I would say, let's say since August, right? Let me kind of see if I can draw some lines here. Again, not a technical room here, but, I'm going to have to just draw all my information, all my inferences from CLF. I would tell you this. Between CLF and X, they both have some pretty solid books. Me and the guru of looking under the hood, Ken Blank-Sorrell, okay, the fundamental king, we broke down these tickers, and we found that their books are pretty solid. The books are pretty solid for both CLF and X. What I want to see is, again, Cleveland Cliffs, they deal in steel. I don't believe they deal in anything else. I believe it's just steel and iron ore. And so definitely with the infrastructure, definitely with, again, with inflation, right? These things are not going to go out of style. The only threat that we see to CLF, of course, is going to be the China, that's pretty much it. Okay. And so, there we go. All right. We've got Lawrence Eggleston, the Panther here. Okay. And so Lawrence, well, we're talking about community stock picks today. But just for right now, we were just breaking down, some of the picks from, YouTube here. And, we might have found a little hidden gem here. We got CLF trapped in a range. We've got squeezes on multiple time frames. And yeah, I'd like to see CLF here get back to $26, and the chart looks like it's fitting to do that. We got a MACD turning around. The histogram looks like it's turning around. And we got squeezes in multiple time frames. So yeah, a nice slow grind up to 26. Looks like it's definitely in the future there. So Lawrence, if you would most graciously inform us, what are some of your picks going into the end of the year and going into 2022? Lawrence, the mic is yours.
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. Yep. So, honestly, one of my picks, honestly, is to short a lot of these high growth plays. So names like Upstart has been in my short list. RIVN has been one I've been shorting as well too. Also Zoom, I've been shorting them. So I mainly just been taking positions on companies that I believe are overvalued, are trading too high. I'm anticipating the Federal Reserve raising interest rates in 2022 and some of those names being hit. So that's really some of my top, type of positions. And also the payment sector as well too. Square, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, I believe will continue to fall. But I do believe that these positions in these companies will present great long-term buying opportunities in the near future. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we definitely shorted Upstart when we saw the turn happen, but we haven't dabbled with that. We kind of entertained running a strangle or straddle for earnings on Zoom. We saw that the premiums are pretty jacked up, so we didn't do that. And in terms of Square, PayPal, and MasterCard, we actually opened up a vertical call today on PayPal, and we're looking for an oversold bounce in that name. I could just talk a little bit roughly. And again, we're playing an oversold bounce, right? Not saying that. I mean, it looks like the chart could definitely get some more damage here. But what we like to see here is we actually got bullish divergence on the daily time frame, right? We have we went as low as 20. Okay, that's the lowest that we've been the entire year on the RSI, as you can see from this chart. I don't think we've even looked even 2 years, right? Or 3 years rather. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty cold. If you see this chart here, team, this is the coldest the RSI has been on PayPal in 3 years. Got all the way down to about 21. Okay, so we're, very, very, very oversold on the daily time frame. And again, recently we saw a bullish divergence, so we opened up some verticals for December. Okay, just looking for a retracement play, just retrace back up to the mean there. And on the weekly time frame, again, look at the weekly here. The coldest on the weekly time frame with an RSI of 25. That is ice cold. But on the weekly time frame, right, we could go all the way down to 169. We don't have to. You don't have to get a bounce, right? And if we do, right, as an alternative, right, if we do kind of keep going lower, we'll have to, take a little loss on those verticals here. But to me, if PayPal endeavors to keep going down until the end of the year, I'm looking at more as like a tax loss selling, and we can put that on a tax loss list, especially for a bounce going into January, right? Typically, you have some stocks that they just kind of sell off into the end of the year and just sell, and then January comes around and you get a rip going into the opposite direction. So again, if PayPal continues to sell off, the payment sector continues to sell off into the end of the year, then we are going to look at some of these names for a bounce definitely in January. All right. So I definitely appreciate the contribution there. But again, we have to put out some of these plays for full disclosure. All right. Looking here at another pick here. So we got Shanisha Dixon. Again, Shanisha, member of the committee here. Really appreciate her. She's on the YouTube. Team, click on the link above our heads. Jump on the YouTube. It's all there. You can see what we're looking at in the charts. Shanisha,
I don't see her in Clubhouse, though. We can't bring her up on stage.
Oh, well, you know what she's doing, Sabrina? She's actually writing her DD on YouTube. You know why? Because she's a queen and she follows directions. She put all
We
this.
did not ask them to do that, though.
Hey, it's fine because she's doing it. She's doing exactly what she needs to do. She's throwing all the DD up on Clubhouse. I'm not Clubhouse. On YouTube. Okay, so I'm actually gonna read. We're gonna throw her pickup as Oracle, and I'm gonna actually read the DD here. You know, hey, we're in the tech age, right? People can contribute however they want to do. Okay, Oracle. I'm letting y'all know something. Man, I seen the breakout of Oracle here out of its trend. I have been tracking it, as you can see, right? Again, team, look at this. If you came to the pre-market movers room, right, the class that we did recently, right? What is this? An accumulation phase, right? Broke out of the accumulation phase above 60, and look at Oracle go, right? It broke out, come down to retest, and for the entire year, it's just been bumping since what is this? February, just been pumping, almost doubled in a single year. So yeah, let's get the DD from Shanisha here while she's on YouTube, right? Okay, I'm just gonna read this verbatim from Shanisha Dixon, advisee here. Okay, so tap in with her on Clubhouse. Okay, Shanisha says, I like Oracle because of their LaaS and SaaS business, because research shows they may be able to compete with AWS, and they have many partners saying it's better than AWS and more affordable. They're profitable. They're low debt. Their PE is fair valued. They have a high price target of 125, which I believe they can get to. And she says she's sick. She says she's sick. So when Charlene gets back, we need to put out a little prayer for her there. Oh, man. Okay, very, very cool. All right, so Shanisha, thank you so very much. We really appreciate the DD on Oracle here. And team, how could you argue with this chart, right? Just a nice, amazing move here on Oracle. Okay. Any of the moderators have anything to say about Oracle at all?
Nope.
All right. Sabrina, would you mind giving us a reset before we get to the rest of the tickers?
Sure. Okay, guys. Welcome to the Day Trading Degens room. This is our traditional style room. It is a popcorn room where you guys can either apparently also use the YouTube, but you can come on stage, raise your hand, and come on stage and share your picks with us and your DD, or you can go to the YouTube link above my head and share your pick there and your DD. And Charles will also take a look at the charts for us. But this is an opportunity for us to learn from you as a community, and also provide you with any additional knowledge that we have in regards to your picks.
All right. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for that. Really appreciate it. So another pick from YouTube here. I see Parth has Baba. Parth has not provided any DD for Baba. I'm letting y'all know, personally, I'm looking for some long-term shares of Baba right around here. The 3-year low for Baba.
I can tell.
Go ahead, Sabrina. Go ahead.
I would hold off on buying any of the dips right now. There are a lot of institutions that are selling off Alibaba right now.
Do you know the reason why? Go ahead.
I need to check my Bloomberg feed on my work monitor, but hold on.
I could tell you, just from a trend standpoint, a lot of companies, a lot of large investors are going away from Chinese companies generally, because I think this year we've found out we've come to terms with the idea that the way the Chinese government can influence their markets is very different than the way we do it in the Western world. Because if you look at Baba from a valuation standpoint alone, I mean, it is such an attractive buy. If this was an American company, there'd be at least double where their price is right now. But a lot of the fear is because, the Chinese leadership can pretty much, at the drop of a hat, change the rules or even delist a company. So that's where a lot of the fears have been.
But Alibaba also had very disappointing earnings the other day.
Yep. I disagree with all those sentiments. For me, it's just really sad to see. Again, I'm an admirer of Jack Ma. I think I've shared some of these sentiments as well on stage before, as it relates to the max risk of takeover by China. Privatize. I mean, not how can I say this? Making basically taking over Alibaba, right? And so that's the max risk. This is more speculation on my part. I do not really believe that they would do something that may severely impact the viability of the company as it relates to the stock price, right? Alibaba supplies the world really with materials and resources that businesses use to create their own business, right? They're more of a B2B company, business to business, where, if you ever seen the guy on the corner selling umbrellas, hey, somewhere along the chain, right? Somebody put in an order for 1,000 umbrellas from Alibaba. The hair game, right? For all you hair sellers and dealers out there, I'm sure you get a lot of your supply from Alibaba. They sell pretty much everything, right? And so for me personally, looking at it from a longer term perspective, also chart wise, right? I'm looking at Alibaba here. We are getting very close to a 3-year low. Okay. 3-year low is 129 on Baba here, and clapped or no claps. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all know personally. Okay. I'm looking to potentially add some shares if they're coming all the way down there. Okay. I have no shame. Even if Alibaba goes to zero, again, I believe in Jack Ma. I believe in, of course, free enterprise. Okay. And I believe that this may be a fantastic buying opportunity on Baba. I know a lot of the Chinese names have fallen out of favor, but I cannot ignore crackhead deal. And again, for Alibaba to go from 319 to 129, I want to start nibbling on some shares somewhere around here. Parth, we know that you could not contribute, but we did fill in the blanks there. So that's what we have there on Baba. Okay. Next we have.
Charles,
go ahead, T.
I got a couple questions on Baba.
Go ahead, T.
As far as I wanted to know, one, why are they just shaving out of the company? Are they too speculative as well, as far as like, okay, this might come back, so let's slide out. We're just gonna slide out, or is there a reason that the market makers would slide out? I know since the sentiment, like the other man was saying, obviously, that, and then there was something else that happened with the China. There's just been ongoing things with the Chinese, but if it's a great company, it's a great company. It's supposedly like the opposite of Amazon for China. So I'm like you. I've been watching that, trying to figure out, okay, are we at the bottom here? And what's your target? I think I heard you say 129. I want to make sure I get that target.
Yeah. Also,
here's the thing with that, Chief, is that you can't necessarily call a bottom, like for anything, right? Just like we can't call a top. So if you're looking to go in, pull up your charts, set some lines up, and then if it hits that price, you can start scaling in. I wouldn't throw the whole kitchen sink at that price target, though.
Right, and for me, team, again, right. When it comes to things like this, right, it sounds really corny, but I think about Warren Buffett, right? He says, when people are fearful, you be greedy, right? And sure, you could be greedy when people are fearful and get clapped anyway, right? But that's a risk that we take. Me personally, it's just, imagine if Amazon, right? Let's say in an imaginary world in the Metaverse, right? If there's like millions of different versions, right, of Earth, right? Let's say in a parallel universe, Jeff Bezos is still running Amazon, and for some reason Jeff Bezos did something and they found out he was a vampire. Okay, Jeff Bezos, if you're out there, don't sue me. I'm not saying that you're a vampire. Okay, we're talking in hypotheticals. But let's say we found out Jeff Bezos was a vampire and Amazon got clapped for half, whatever the stock value was. I would have the same kind of thoughts and conviction, right? So again, the in terms of the target, right? I'm just pulling up a 3-year chart here on Baba, and again, I'm seeing a 3-year low of 129. Let me pull up maybe a 5-year chart. Yeah, there it is, 129. Matter of fact, the last time we were down here, this looks like. I mean, again, we can't call it, right, but it looks like there is some support there. Okay, right around that 129, and yeah, it could get down to 100. Also, I want to remind the community, right? Some words from Dr. Iyanu. All right, the way that Dr. Iyanu approaches like long-term shares, he wants to buy shares closer to what the mean price is, right? So let's say if the mean price of Baba, right, is somewhere around 200. Right now we're at 133. Top price is 319. So for me, I want to add some more shares on the lower end of the spectrum. So for me, if Baba wants to get at 133, sure. Baba wants to get to 100, sure. Baba wanted to get to 90, hey, give them to me, okay? But again, it's the risk that we all take. Again, the max risk is that the company will be privatized by the government. But team, haven't seen.
Can I read you something?
Go. Hold on, Sabrina. So team, again, that has not happened. And so, to me, it's the risk that you take when you get into anything. There's a risk, maybe minuscule, right? That Apple may get clapped down 50 or 60% one day, right? Does that mean that we just say, oh, Apple is poison, or like my son says, Apple is lava, and we just run away from it? Yeah, we could, but again, you have to. Part of what makes trading and investing special is the difference of thoughts and opinions. And so, for me, I'm more than comfortable taking a risk of getting clapped on some Baba. I'd rather buy some Baba shares than fool around with some options and get clapped on that anyway. So if I got to throw some money away, hey, I'm throwing some money away on some shares. Go ahead, Sabrina. Right, mic's on you.
I would suggest that you guys proceed with caution when you're starting your positions. Like Charlene said, don't throw everything all at once. And I'm going to read something to you right now. It says, the latest data reveals that a broad swath of institutional investors actively sold off their holdings in the company's U.S.-listed shares once again this quarter. You might wonder if the sell-off is over and if this is a good time to invest, but that may not be the case. There is reason to believe that the sell-off could continue for a few more months at least, which could inevitably keep the stock price subdued for a little longer. And there's more data there, but I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you guys.
If you don't mind, where did you get that article? I just love it. I like to know where certain news come from.
This is something internal to where I work.
Yeah, Sabrina works at a major financial institution, so she has access to information and resources. You got that Bloomberg terminal as well, Sabrina?
I do.
Hey, that Bloomberg terminal's killing y'all, so that's the big boys right there. So, hey, there it is. So, for everybody out there who are thinking about Baba, we have a myriad of thoughts and opinions on the subject. And hey, folks, I love it. I'm letting y'all know personally, Charles Becco wise, I'm looking to add some shares for my son and his grandson, Baba. Okay, I'll be adding. So I appreciate everybody and the contribution. Simba, you got something?
Yeah, I was going to say you're actually also in good company. I mean, I'm very skeptical of Baba and generally Chinese companies right now. But you've got Charlie Munger going up against Warren Buffett. They have completely different views on Chinese stocks right now. You have BlackRock, Bill Ackman. They're still very heavy in China as well. So it's great to kind of hear both sides of that argument.
Yep. And team, also consider for anybody out there, right? Because again, not financial advice, right? Assume anything you hear on stage will get you clapped, all right? But we're talking, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30-year investments in these companies, right? Hey, we could turn around and Baba might be $50 in a couple months, right? So just exercise and proceed with caution there. All right, so we spent a long time on Baba. I do see me on the stage, or Mythos. Mythos, welcome to the stage. What is your stock pick for the end of the year and going into 2022, Mythos?
Hey guys, welcome. Sorry, so my name isn't Mythos, it's Paulo, but for some reason Telegram won't let me change it. So I put on my handle that I'm known for online. So I'm an active options trader. I day trade options. I live off of it. That's basically my day-to-day income. I trade with algorithmic bots, and I also do some manual trading on the side. For my picks to the end of the year, I would say Riot, Mara, and casino stocks. So DKNG, Penn, LVS, Win, any of the gambling stocks into the end of the year, and Riot and Mara. Those are essentially my picks. I also like Fubu. It's had a pretty steep drop. I called that out when it was at like 18 a while back. It's since moved up to 35, and this past few weeks it's dropped down to 20 again. I don't think it's going to drop below 19, so that's kind of my line in the sand. Again, I'm not adding here just because of the, it's already tested the $30-something level a few times and hasn't been able to break through it, and I have a position at 19 and some change. So I think that it's in a holding pattern. It's basically in a sideways consolidation. But what I know some people in Vegas, and what they've told me regarding the casinos is that they are essentially almost at pre-pandemic levels in terms of users, right, in terms of gamblers. However, the stock price is not reflecting that. So I believe they are undervalued at the current pricing. And this is a great opportunity to add to start a position, I guess, in some of these casino plays. Not only that, but they also pay dividends, so you're actually getting a little bit of a better deal of when they were at double the price. With casino plays comes DraftKings. I'm looking to buy DraftKings around $31. It tested 35 today. It was an important level, but it hasn't shown much strength to the upside just yet. So either we bounce here at the $35 level, and it can come also back down and test 31. Now, as a long-term investor, you buying some at 35 and some at 31, it's probably the same thing. It's just a 10-15% difference. For a trader, from a trader's perspective, on a more daily or weekly basis, you have to let it show a little bit more strength on the bounce. So with this correction in stocks that we're having, it's kind of doubtful that it's going to bounce here at the 35, but it could bounce at this level. So, I mean, if you're asking me pick to the end of the year, I'd say mainly Mara and Riot, because they're the crypto plays. I've been calling them out since the beginning of the year that they're going to outperform. They're going to outperform stocks, and in truth, they have, even with this last correction. But I do think that they're ready to bounce. So Riot and Mara, I think they're ready to bounce. Like today, the bounce has already started. Analyzing dates based on a date analysis. If you notice, if you analyze crypto coins, individual coins, you'll see that for some reason, on the 22nd of every month, there is a bounce in some of the coins. And actually, the most part of the coins, there's some sort of bounce on the 22nd of every month now, or around the 22nd, 21st, 23rd, something like that. So with that said, yesterday was the 22nd of November, and typically there's always a dip in crypto in November. So if there's always a dip in crypto in November, and yesterday was the 22nd, it was just two indicators to tell me that I should have bought Riot yesterday, and in fact I did. I bought 36 calls on Riot, which are in the money today, with an 8% increase in that stock from yesterday till today. So I think that we're due for a bounce here in crypto and a rally into January. Now, when crypto coins go up, they are going to take up Mara and Riot, because they're the crypto miners. And there's many other plays. Hive, for example, just anyone that's a miner, except SOS.
SOS does nothing.
Yeah. Except SOS, just because it's a China stock. And, they're not too friendly on crypto lately. But, assume that everything I said you're going to get clapped on, just like they said it again. But I'm sticking to those plays. I have positions in all those plays. And I'm looking to add, like I said, actually start a position in DraftKings around 31 to 35 for my long-term holdings. And that's it for me. And that's a lot.
That definitely was a lot. Thank you very much.
Sorry for taking up the stage time.
No, we're here for it.
For sure. I agree with you when it comes to the crypto. Yes, for full disclosure, I started last week, actually, and I opened some short positions because I've been practicing shorting crypto. And I learned a new process, and I've been shorting it. And yes, I closed out my positions, I believe on Sunday or Monday, and reopened it again, and then closed out this morning. And they do well. Yes, with Mara and Riot, BTBT is another one that tends to, I don't necessarily like it, but it tends to move when crypto moves too. I don't know. I might be opening another short position with the news that came out today about India following China and banning crypto. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, I agree with you.
All right, so lots of news there, lots of DD. We were putting the various stickers up on stage. So that's DraftKings, FUBO. We have LVS and Win, and just in general the casino tickers, which I'm sure that's going to probably include also Penn National Gaming. So let's just throw Penn up there. Okay, just going to add that. Let me look at Penn actually. It's funny. During the pandemic, right? I got a super funny story. During the pandemic, I had no idea what the mean price of Penn was. And so I think we had gotten down to $3.75 or some ridiculous number. Penn came up on one of my indicators, right? And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, this looks okay. And I took some positions at $18 and I flipped it out for like $21, and I thought I was like a genius, right? And then Penn goes during the pandemic rally from $18 to $142 because you know what it was, again, there are advantages to looking at things the way I do, and there are some strong disadvantages as well. And so had I just looked at like the past history, right, of the price and not been so again with tunnel vision, I probably would have held on to that position a lot longer, or maybe did something different. But yeah, I had some positions on Penn, and boy, I wish I would have held that. But yeah, Penn National Gaming there. I'm gonna add that to there. DraftKings Football, LVS win, Penn National Gaming, and Riot Mara crypto plays. All right. So thank you so much for that. I believe you said your name is Paulo, not Mythos. So sorry about that. Back to the YouTube here because I do want to kind of finish up this list. We are at about an hour, so we should be winding down pretty soon. Eminem put out Airbnb. He said automatic. He or she, sorry, I can't assume it's a he, or they or it, whatever pronoun is appropriate for this person. Eminem said automatic drive-in school Airbnb. I'm not too sure what that D&D of automatic driving school. I'm not too sure what that's in reference to, but again, they get clapped up on some Airbnb. So glad that we got out. Just not really sure what it is here right now. Airbnb is actually lower than before earnings came out, right? And so I look at that as definitely an imbalance. I'm an Airbnb. I was thinking about adding a position, but I said, you know what? Maybe this was a false breakout because I had looked at them as kind of being in a holding pattern as well. Since September till now, they just kind of been in a trading channel. We got a huge breakout, and we came right back to where it came from. So part of me wants to kind of go back in. Part of me just says, hey, let Airbnb do its thing. But if any of the moderators have any thoughts or anybody on stage have any thoughts about Airbnb, let us know or let us forever hold our peace. Anybody with Airbnb? See, I do see a hand
I don't
up.
care for it.
Okay.
I mean, I could give
Yeah,
you,
I feel the same way.
I can give you some. I mean, my thoughts on Airbnb is it's a long-term stock, right? I mean, it's kind of a given that it will eventually do well. It's just a question of valuation. Is the stock worth what it's currently trading for? With that said, you're not going to probably, go all in on this stock all at once. However, it is a stock that you want to, every 3 months or something, throw a few $100s at it and just kind of build a position, around that stock and buy the dips. I just think that you need to look at it like a long-term stock because it's not the kind of stock that's going to, jump 10% one day and drop 10% the other, right? It doesn't have that kind of volatility. So, I mean, they really don't have any competitors. It's not like, they're battling competitors because they don't have any.
Hotel, the rest, hotel.
The hotels are their competitors. And also timeshares. Timeshares are their competitors. I mean, they have competition.
I mean, it's hard to compare a hotel to an Airbnb, right? They're two different, distinct services. That's like comparing Ubers to taxis.
But we do in New York. We compare Ubers to taxis. We do exactly that.
Well, but it's a different service, right? Agreed?
No. You get in a car, you go somewhere.
Well, I mean, if you look at it like that, but still, the hotel industry is currently going through a large transformation due to Airbnb. I mean, let's say you can go anywhere in the world right now. I mean, I saw a video in Kabul when we were taking the troops out of Afghanistan. There was a guy renting an Airbnb to an American couple, and they were there. I mean, where are the hotels? So this is eventually what happened to taxi cabs, right? So taxi drivers, they converted to be Uber drivers. I mean, at least where I live. That's basically the information that I have, is that taxi drivers are driving for Uber as well because, well, no one is asking for taxi cabs anymore. Maybe in New York, people still drive the yellow cabs. In Houston, I haven't seen a cab since forever. And, the same thing unless you're looking for that hotel experience, yeah, sure, you'll go to a hotel. But I think there's a transition happening to Airbnbs because, I mean, I can travel anywhere in the world and find an Airbnb better than a hotel and cheaper. Okay, I'm not going to get the same kind of service. I'm not going to have my linens changed every day. I'm not going to have a spa. But, you know, I can still have a quality stay in a place, okay, where I'll have to cook if I want or go out to dinner or lunch. But, you know, they're in the same sector, but eventually, you know, up till now, there was just hotels, right? Now there's Airbnb that's basically everywhere that hotels aren't, right? Plus where they are.
So I can agree with you with that, yes. But with the way I see Airbnbs and why I don't care for it is because I feel like it's only profitable if people go out in group settings or whatever it is, right? But if I want to go alone or with my spouse, I'm not doing an Airbnb because I'm vacationing. The last thing I want to do is cook for myself or clean after myself. I want those luxuries of someone coming in and cleaning my room and me ordering room service or all of that jazz, right? So the Airbnb is good for group settings where everyone pitches in and does whatever. They're all getting drunk and partying anyway, so what does it matter, right? They like it because they can bring all the alcohol to them and smoke all that stuff where they're at, you know, and not have to worry about someone calling down to the, concierge and saying someone's making a ruckus. So that's why I just don't care for the Airbnb. I mean, everyone, obviously, there's always two sides of the story. So everyone's going to like their, what they like about Airbnb, and I'm always going to say what I don't like about Airbnb. But it's to each his own. I think that's the whole point of this, is just so that, everyone can share their DD on why they like a stock and why they don't like a stock, and, invest how you want. I do want to remind everyone that nothing said on this platform is to be considered financial advice. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick reset. Welcome. This is the Day Trading Degens Club. If you haven't already, please click on the green house to become a member of the Day Trading Degens Club. Don't forget to click the bell so you're alerted whenever we open up a room. We are here for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes we do some pop-up rooms in between. Our normal setting is that you give us your tickers. We pull up the charts live on YouTube, and you decide whether you want to buy, sell, or hold. Today is a pop-up room, sort of. You come up here, tell us what you're looking at, short-term, long-term, and your reasons why you are looking at it. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow your mods. The YouTube link is right above our heads. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment, and share to YouTube. Thank you for joining. Over to you, Charles.
Thank you so very much, Charlene. Thank you, Sabrina, Teef, Simba, and also Paul. Well, now we got two Paulos, right? We got me, and then we got Paulos, right? So appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, for your contributions here. I'm going to go to the Paulos with that beautiful background there. Paulos, what is your ticker that you believe is going to do well for the end of the year and into 2022? I think he may be away. I do want to mention Magnificent Marm. We do see you there. We did invite you to the stage, but I don't think you could get in. Try to leave the room and come back, and we could possibly get you back up here. Until then, we have a question from the YouTube from Daniel Kim. Daniel Kim wants our thoughts on VLON tomorrow. Let's just take a quick look at VLON really quickly. Anybody have... Charlene, I believe you said you were in or you were playing around with VLON?
Yes.
Okay, you want to comment on it?
Full disclosure, I am in. I did take a lot of profit off the table, and now it's just YOLO. I do believe that it'll most likely dip in the morning. I think people are just chasing it now. I was also in... What was that one? Hold on, let me check what is that? AP something? Charles, what was that? Hold on, I'm pulling up my APVO. I was in there, so full disclosure, and I got out. So these plays, if you don't know what you're doing, don't touch. If you're asking questions, it's already too late to get in, no offense. So don't do that. get in. So I did that, made 25%, and I got out. I left some runners, but not much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Charlene. So man, APVO, this thing just went crazy. I did see the move towards the middle of the day around 11 o'clock. Typically when something is up and it's already running, especially if it's a biotech, oh my gosh, I typically ignore it. But let me tell you something. From a day trading perspective, APVO performed like a champion. My goodness. Kind of wish maybe I threw a little bit of yellow on there. But day trading really requires a different set of skills that than I presently, utilize from the day basis. I mean, I did, do some scalping on some options, which is a little bit different than day trading stocks. They're, I would say, similar skill set. But yeah, on these big runners, I typically stay away. But looking at this APVO, man, I wish I fooled around with this. Have no idea what the news is, but great move on APVO and VLON. Yeah. Typically the rule is, hey, if you're not already in, forget about it, right? Because look at VLON after hours. I mean, went up all the way to 854, closed at around 7, and now it's sitting at 5. For most people, I would say, especially if you're new, if you have to ask, hey, what is it going to do tomorrow? The answer is, hey, stay out of it. And if you're in it, consider getting out. Don't get clapped. Assume you're going to get clapped because that's just what happens. Leave plays like this to the professionals or the more experienced veterans out there. Because again, especially unless you have the capital to kind of fool around and go in and out. And if you're under the PDT rule, then you absolutely should not probably avoid things like this. Again, full disclosure. Paulos, want to give you one more chance if you're here. Do want to introduce Megan to the stage. Megan, one of our co-mods here. Megan, this is Popcorn Room that we're doing with the Day Trading Degens Club. Via the Day Trading Degens Club. This is open to the community. Megan, do you have any picks that you like going into the end of 2021 and into 2022? Megan, the mic is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in the car, so hopefully you can hear me. I'm running errands with kids and sports. I actually did some swing trading today on like Goldman Sachs and Berkshire Hathaway, AIB, and made some good coin today, while I know some other people were feeling some red. So, and I'll potentially swing those because they are high-low-long setups. And a lot of the banks and oil and airlines are all kind of swinging that high-low-long setup. So I'll probably be swinging those to the end of the year, or at least until they meet some key pivot points where I'm going to get out. So that's what I did today, and we'll probably do for a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, Goldman Sachs looks good. And so what Megan is referring to is a reversal setup that we trade here at our private Discord at Brooklyn Traders. If you're interested in that, the link is on the YouTube, so check us out there if you are interested in figuring out that setup. But yeah, nice move here on Goldman Sachs from the low here at 381, currently sitting at 406. So pretty sure some nice good coin here off of that reversal setup. So I heard Goldman Sachs. Which was the other two tickers, Megan?
I did Berkshire Hathaway, which I think is BRK/B maybe.
Okay. The other one?
I did NI.
NI, that's not NEO, that's NI?
It's NI. I think it's an energy play.
Okay, pretty cool. What was the setup on this? Or was this another reversal, or?
Actually, I think this one was a weekly squeeze with a MACD cross.
Oh, wow. Hey, this is looking good. So I'm going to put a little asterisk next to this. Do some digging on NI here. So, team, I think we are at the end of our list. We're sitting here at 1 hour and 15, which is our target time for this type of show. Because I've seen a popcorn room like this go 3 hours one day. I appreciate you folks.
You didn't let Charlene or I give our pick.
Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all was talking all day.
You were like, let the community go, let the community go.
I said Charles Becco was going to go last. Charles Becco didn't even put his picks in.
Let Sabrina get her tickets off her chest. Go ahead, Sabrina. I got you.
Man.
No, you go, Charlene. You go first.
I didn't know y'all was waiting.
for long term, all I'm doing is adding to Palantir. That's all I'm doing right now, long term, adding to Palantir, because I believe one day it will be better than Microsoft. And that's my humble opinion. But they just do awesome quarter over quarter, year over year. They've been doing great. And I love them because they see what I see, that something will happen soon. And when Palantir brought all that gold in case of a Black Swan event, I love them even more and decided to dedicate a lot of my portfolios to them. So Palantir is what I am looking at for my next big pop versus just some other plays that I am in. One of them is bio, and that's MNOV, MNOV. Do your own due diligence on that. If you're not in already, I don't think you can get in. But that's all. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Wait, let me just double check. Hold on 1 second. Let me just double check. So I got Palantir, right? And I got MNOV. Is that correct? MNOB?
Correct. MNOV, like violet.
Violet? Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that I get it right, because I do have to publish this watch list here. So, yeah, nice move on MNOV here. This is a reversal setup, right? Pretty nice move here. Man, y'all be sitting on all these plays. Y'all gotta let a brother know, dagnabbit. MNOV looks good. This is a nice little reversal.
You always say this, but when I drop some little nuggets.
No. Ain't nobody trying to stop you. Ain't nobody trying to stop you. No.
Let him know.
No. Team, full disclosure, we don't do little to no moderating in the Brooklyn Traders Discord. So you guys are free to put whatever you want there. Okay, we don't do nothing. Everybody's free to put down their stuff. Don't say Charles. I didn't do it.
I didn't know. What I'm saying is you have to read the nuggets that get dropped. MNOV, I did not drop today because I got in today, and I completely forgot to do that little whisper. But I do every so often. I get in there. Qualcomm was one of my plays that I called out. What was that? At least 3 weeks before I started making really big moves. And I know all my positions closed 300% each and more. So there you go, Charles. Read those messages.
Hey, look, I didn't see nothing about Qualcomm. I did agree with. I did not take Qualcomm because I was just busy with other things. But no, Qualcomm I agree with because it was a phase 1 market phase breakout. So I love Qualcomm, by the way. MNOV, I'm gonna look into it, but I can tell you right now, MNOV definitely has the setups that we're looking for. That looks really good.
I'll give the room a YOLO one that they can get in. Well, no, you know what? Not financial advice. BMTX is another one I'm looking at for a quick play. I'm not even looking to hold it for another week, and that's all.
Yep. I do know members of the community with BMTX, so that's that. I'm sorry, Sabrina. Go ahead. And again, apologies to Charlene and Sabrina. We have been running so long. I didn't even get my own ticker off. But go ahead, Sabrina.
Okay, I will start off by saying that my stop loss for DraftKings kicked in today. DraftKings has seen a significant pullback based on a bunch of negative news. But anyway, my pick. So first of all, let me give you a little bit of background. Because I work on a trading floor for a financial investment company, I have a mandatory 30-day hold. So the majority of my picks are going to be much longer-term picks. So I pick the ETF Meta, META. And Charles, you're not going to find a lot of information about this on the charts because it just came out not that long ago. So for those of you who are trying to get involved in the Metaverse and you cannot afford Facebook and you cannot afford Roblox or Tesla or Nvidia because they're quite expensive, you can go and buy the META ETF, and that ETF will give you exposure to all of these different companies that I mentioned, plus some more that I didn't mention. It's an ETF, which means that it's it's actively managed. You will have to pay a small fee for that actively managed fund, but you will get exposure to all of these big boys, like I mentioned, and then there's a whole bunch more. And it's an easier way to get involved in the new metaverse world that we are approaching. There's also crypto plays that you can get in on for the metaverse. There is Decentraland. I've been in that play for quite some time. I think Charlene and I got in at the same time at a very low buy-in. I wouldn't encourage buying it now. It's at $3. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's at $3 now. But yeah, I do encourage the ETF and ETA if you guys are interested. That's a play. Thank you.
The ticker for that coin is MANA, M-A-N-A.
Thank you, Charlene.
Sabrina, do you know by chance offhand, or I can look it up if you don't, what the expense ratio is on the Meta ETF?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Megan.
Do you know offhand what the expense ratio is on Meta?
No, I don't actually. I can look it up.
No, I can do it. That's okay. I just thought you knew offhand. Thank you.
0.75.
Yep, I'm looking at the Meta ETF, and so yeah, so Meta I actually heard of. I heard it from a streamer, and they were talking about it. I typically don't fool around with ETFs. I don't fool around with ETFs in terms of like scalping them, but long term, I definitely have them, and I like the idea of Meta ETF. I have not gotten into it. I do want to do a little bit more research because I have to kind of weigh the how can I put this? I have to kind of weigh the option of, hey, do I get this ETF or do I just get more shares in the basket of things, right? And so,
right. That's why I said if folks cannot afford to purchase, some of these big boys, right? They are running and they're runners and they're expensive. This is an alternate path.
The other thing I like about what Sabrina's saying is that if you're not super well versed in picking your own tickers and doing the research, if it is actively managed and somebody is doing that work for you, it's like having a financial advisor specializing in the Meta world, and all you're paying is the expense ratio. So you're paying for somebody's expertise that you don't know. So I like that as a long-term play if you're not well versed yourself.
Hey, team, if you didn't have a reason to be in ETFs, you heard some pretty powerful arguments here from Sabrina and Megan. And ladies, I want to thank you so much for that contribution. And okay, so that ticker is META. Again, we're creating a gigantic watch list. Oh my gosh. And I think I do want to read the watch list off because I think that is a tradition. We read the watch list at the end of the show. And I think that is it. I will throw my little piece in there. It's going to be quick. I will say on Meta in a short-term time frame. We're not talking long-term, okay? We are in sort of a short setup here. Yesterday we had a big pullback from $17 to $16.29. We're still in a short setup, and we do have a MACD. Let me just show you here. We do have a MACD cross down on the daily time frame there, right? So do consider that if you want to get into Meta. My play here, let me kind of bring up a different chart. My play, and this will be the last ticker of the night, just like I said, hey, I'm going last, and sticking to my word. It's going to be CVS, okay? Kind of a boring play. It's been kind of a headache, to be honest with you. And I think the issue with CVS here is everyone's waiting to see what happens with that court case. The news came out today. Thank you, Charlene. Charlene dropped it in the Discord. They lost their case, I believe, against the government for the opioid crisis. I believe Walgreens, CVS, and Walmart. Yep, as co-defendants. They did lose the case. What I do like about the price action today, however, right? Let me go to a smaller time frame chart. Here it is on the 5-minute. on the initial news, we kind of dipped all the way down to $92, and then we came right back. The fact that we kind of held here lets me know that what Wall Street is waiting for. Wall Street wants to know, okay, what's the penalty going to be like? So kind of more of a yellow here towards the end of the year. I do like the longer term time frame. I think this weekly chart just looks sexy. This is just an amazing looking weekly chart that I'm playing off of. If the penalty is more like a slap on the wrist or something like, you know, not substantial, I think CVS and the rest of these guys will run. If it's bigger than that, these guys could potentially get clapped a little bit. So that is my end of the year play. It's going to be CVS. Okay, so I'm going to read down this list from order of appearances. Okay, so please help me here. Okay, we've got BLTS, we've got Plug, we got Apple, CLF, Oracle, Baba, Airbnb. We got the Central Land crypto play, Mana, MANA. We got the Panther said he's shorting Upstart, RIVN, and Zoom. Also, he said he's shorting Square, PayPal, and MasterCard. We've got DraftKings, Fubo. We've got the, what is this? The Vegas tickers, right? Las Vegas Sands and Wynn. I added Penn to that list as well. We have APVO Momo play for today. VLON Momo play for today. We got Berkshire Hathaway. We got NI as well. Palantir, MNOV, MNOV, Qualcomm, Meta, ETF, and last but certainly not least, we have CVS. We have CVS and team. Oh man, we got Chike here. Chike, we're just wrapping up the show, but we will allow you to add just one more ticker. If you could keep the comment short, because we're just about to close up. So you know what, Chike, you just go for it right now. Go ahead, Chike. The mic is yours.
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we do. Go ahead,
Hey,
brother.
bro, we can hear you.
Hey, you guys mentioned.
Hi, Chica.
Hello, Sabrina. You guys mentioned Berkshire Hathaway, and that's actually where I'm starting my new job. So, wanted to say that.
Congrats.
Thank you. I think the one ticker I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is IMMR, M as in Mary, IMMR. I think we're at all-time lows right now. It's kind of a play on the Metaverse and all that fun stuff that goes into it, and I think there's a lot of upsides from here on out, but yep, that's my only ticker I wanted to bring up is IMMR.
All right, Chike, we're definitely going to put it on the list. It's a Metaverse play. As best as I could, what I'll do is, besides just giving you guys tickers, I'm going to use my my memory, and I'm going to replay the video here. We are streaming across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm going to watch the video, and I'm going to try to write out a simple one-liner for each one of these plays as best as I could. Again, you have to follow your mods, right? You got to follow Sabrina, you have to follow Charlene, and you certainly have to follow Megan as well as myself. We will be publishing this list to the day trading D-Trends different communities. That's the Marge's room on Telegram. That's Brooklyn Traders Discord. Also on the YouTube, right? Again, you have to follow the YouTube. You have to subscribe to the YouTube in order to get the juice, right? Fantastic day, great participation. Does any moderator want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yes, I would like to say to the community, look at the new link above my head. There is Don't Get Clapped merchandise.
See, Sabrina, hold on, Sabrina. Now, in defense of me from 10 minutes ago, you see how the team, I'm checked out. I'm ready to get my Thanksgiving on. I'm finna get out of here. I'm trying to get out of here so much that I done even forgot. And thank you, Sabrina, for reminding me. Done forgot to even plug some of the merch. Sabrina, I'm sorry. I just bail myself out of the doghouse. Done forgot about you. Done forgot about Charlene. Done forgot about myself. Done forgot about the merch. Sabrina, go right ahead. I'm sorry.
We did not forget about you, though, brother. We here for you. So, guys, if you click on the link above my head, you will see some amazing stuff that Charles and his team has designed. They are all one of a kind. They are all part of Brooklyn Traders. Go get yourself some swag. Buy people some Christmas gifts. There's definitely some limited edition stuff. In there. All of us at Brooklyn Traders definitely bought some stuff over the past couple of days. I don't know if he's running out of inventory. Get it now before it's gone. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, if you celebrate.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, happy Friendsgiving, everything, right? No matter where you are in the world, just remember to you got time from work, take time with your family, take time to see your friends, your grandparents, your plants, your cat, dogs, your mom, dads, everything, right? Just show love. That's the Brooklyn way, okay? Again, we're just kind of scrolling past the stuff here, okay? 99 problems, but that stock ain't one, okay? It's one of our personal favorites, Eat, Sleep, Trade, Crypto Life, Penny Stock Millionaire. This is a hot item right here. But yeah, we've got the shirts there. Want to see if we could get a Degens shirt, right? Special Degens shirt for the Degens out there. But yeah, here it is. That's the link. And team, I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for everybody. We really appreciate you. Again, any moderators want to say anything at all before we get out of here?
Hi, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. I don't believe we are on Friday. Charles can correct that if I am wrong. If not, happy holiday. See you guys again next week. Please be careful the rest of the trading week. It's going to be low volume. And if you are a true believer like me, don't forget to use some of your profits and tithes, okay? Don't have to do it in the church. Feed some homeless. It's cold outside.
There's one thing.
Get them something to eat, some hot chocolate, something. I'm done.
One last thing, if you guys want to get the list that Charles is going to put together, be sure to follow me on Insta. It'll be on my stories. Follow Charles. Follow Charles and Megan.
Appreciate that.
She said
go ahead,
Charlemagne, so she said Charlemagne. Remember that Charlene does not accept friend requests until we have been vetted. I'm sorry, I got my babies on my page.
Okay, that's fine. Just follow. If you follow me and Charles, you'll get the list. My bad.
Boom, boom. Again, thanks, team. God bless. Take care. Hey, I want to put out also a small request, right? So right now, this is the working day trading Degens music. If you are a musician out there and you would like to have your music featured for the community, hit us up in the DMs and send us your stuff, okay? This is the working music for the Day Trading Degens Club. Again, appreciate y'all. Thanks, everybody, and God bless. Take care, everybody. God bless.